Well, here we are, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day 2020. This is going to be the Christmas of social distancing. Now, a lot of people are social distancing because of the sickness, and many more are actually social distancing because of narcissism and toxic families. But sickness makes for a good logical excuse to stay away from toxic narcissistic families. So we'll never know the true amount of numbers there as to which is which. Nonetheless, some of you are going to be getting together with a few of your close relatives who care about you and who you truly care about, or friends who you truly care about and who care about you. And we want to make sure that you have the best possible time that you can have this holiday season. My name is Kevin, and this is The Royal We. Now, for those of you who are getting together with a few people this Christmas Eve and Christmas, it's good to have a healthy expectation of them and also of yourself so that you yourself do not create a toxic situation where one doesn't need to exist. Now, as you process toxic relationships and narcissistic abuse, the lingering obsessive thoughts can just carry on year after year after year, and you can get into circular conversations where something just comes out. You could be talking about anything, and suddenly it's like, yeah, when I dealt with that narcissistic creepo, and you're like, it just starts that conversation. And the people who care about you are like, here we go again, right? So we want to avoid that. So here's some things to keep in mind about talking about narcissistic abuse and sharing your toxic experience. Number one, the people who truly care about you and who you care about may not understand the full extent of the narcissistic abuse that you have experienced. They didn't see it. They didn't witness it. As a matter of fact, many people witness the opposite of what you're talking about. You're talking about how horrible and how monstrous this person is because you experienced firsthand what a monster that narcissist is. You saw the death stare and gleam from their eyes as they looked at you, and every bit of their hatred said it was just horrible, right? Monster, right? Whereas people who care about you may have only seen a nice version of that person, all right? So they're not going to be able to quite understand. Sure, they'll be able to empathize with you. Yes, they'll be able to offer sympathy for you. But it's kind of like this. I have children. For those of you who have children, you're going to understand this. If my son is out playing and he comes running up to me saying, Daddy, I fell down and scraped my leg. And he shows me his leg and it's just a little tiny scrape and brush it off. And I say, you're going to be all right. You're good. Go play. And he goes off and plays, right? All right. Now, if it's the same situation, but I watch him fall, that's a completely different story, right? I'm running over there. I am diving on top of that. I'm all over that situation, making sure he is okay and picking him up and throwing him over my shoulder and making sure we don't have to go in the hospital. All right, I'm exaggerating, but you get my point. There's a difference when someone is explaining to you and you're not quite able to see anything necessarily wrong versus seeing something happen. This is just a reality that we have to deal with, all right? And so they're not going to fully understand why it's taking you so long to process. They're not going to understand exactly what you saw. Even though they can sympathize with you and offer empathy, they're not fully going to get it. And this gets into the second thing I want to share with you, which is taking bad advice from them, okay? They're going to give you bad advice, not because they don't care about you, but because they do care about you. But what they're trying to do is get you to change your position on it. So they're going to say things like, oh, it's not that bad, or maybe they're just jealous of you, or maybe they're just envious of you. And these are horrible things for you to hear. And the reason is because it can start to play with your mind if you're not careful, right? Hearing that your toxic, narcissistically abusive person is just envious of you. Well, suddenly now you've got something to play with in your mind, and you can go home and think, well, maybe if I just address their envy or talk about their jealousy and let them, no, negative. They don't abuse you because they're jealous or they're envious. That's not why narcissists abuse people. They abuse because that's their nature, their character, it's who they are. That's their personality. We need to stop giving them excuses for their abusive behavior. It's not out of envy. It's not out of jealousy. It is not because of their own CPTSD. It is none of that stuff. It is their character. It is their decision. It is their free will to be abusive. Period. End. So we need to understand that as you're listening to people who care about you, the reason they're saying that, by the way, the reason they're telling you, oh, maybe they're envious and this and that, is because they just want to see you smile. They want to change your composure right then and there at that moment. They see that you're sad. They want to lift that sadness, and that's the best they can do. This is why I make myself available. This is why there's coaches who are available who know exactly what you're experiencing, because we're not going to tell you, well, they're just envious and jealous. No, we're going to help you deal with the pain and understand the reality of what you're dealing with, right? So if you need that one-on-one time, if you need that truth, then schedule one-on-one time with me. Do not try to get that one-on-one time from your close friends and your relatives, all right? So what do you do? Let's make sure that you have a good time this holiday season, this Christmas Eve, this Christmas Day, with whomever you're going to be together with. Focus on them. These are people who care for you and who love you. Understand this, that they just want to make sure that you are good. So present to them somebody who is good. So be that joyful self that you have always been with them. Be into them. Be into their conversations with them, right? If you find yourself in this place where you're thinking obsessively, excuse yourself. You can send me an email, jointheroyalwe@gmail.com, just to write whatever's on your heart. You're welcome to do that. But excuse yourself from the room, get it out, take a deep breath, go back in, and be all about them. Give them your love, give them your attention. Don't make any room to talk about the narcissist and the toxic relationship. It's going to be challenging, but you can do it. I've been there. It's hard, but you can do it. Okay? Listen, I want to be a part of your healing journey. If you do need one-on-one coaching, go down and schedule some. You can schedule a one-on-one phone call. You could do a FaceTime or WhatsApp call with me, a video chat. You could even sponsor a video where I talk into your situation. And I will be available. I will have my phone on me for emergencies. If you have an emergency, you can text. Okay? And the number is down below in the description box as well for that. And also, before I go, I do want to remind you that you can find access to Royal We Live Chat. The link is down below in the description box. Click on that for Monday night live chats. We will be live every Monday at 9 o'clock p.m. Central Time. Also, Saturday morning is Royal We Fellowship. That's every Shabbat, 9 o'clock a.m. We come together as a community to study the ancient literature of the Bible, and we are applying it to our understanding of this toxic world of narcissism. It's unlike any other Bible study you've been a part of. So don't miss our Saturday morning Shabbat service at 9 a.m. Central Time every Saturday. You can find the links down below and much more. So head on down there, click around on the links, and I'll be back with more videos for you right here on The Royal We. Merry Christmas.